Good afternoon and welcome. We're looking towards our June 17th, 2019 County Commission meeting tonight, and just like to give you kind of an update on what's about to happen at our commission meeting tonight. Hopefully you'll be watching on 198 live or on 99 on AT&T. We thank Ms. Teresa Bush and her team for making this happen, as well as all the commissioners that supported this project, and we look forward to many broadcasts in the future. And I know that this channel produces a lot more than just a county commission meeting, so please stay tuned to look for that upcoming events that you might be interested in. Tonight, Commissioner Terry Scruggs will have the prayer and the pledge. We do have one speed limit change on the consent agenda. That will be McQuarrie Road, lowering it to 25. There will be special recognition tonight by Commissioner Robinson for a young man that saved a life in our county, and I'll just kind of leave it at that, and hopefully you'll watch tonight to see who they're honoring. There will be several budget amendments being done tonight. It's that time of the year, it's the end of the year where people try to get their money in line and get it in the right line items to be spent. And so I'll go through some of those with you right now if I can. As we look through the amendments, we'll start out with some zoning amendments tonight, as they will define what is a travel trailer as compared to motor homes and recreational vehicles and campers. And so that will be one that will be done through the Planning and Zoning organization. Tonight we will pass a continuation budget. Our budget process, of course, starts now. A lot of people in their budget on June 30th. I talked about that, I think, last month a little bit. We do not pass ours until the third Monday in August in order to make sure that we've got all our revenues in and all of our expenses paid, so we know really what the bottom line is. And so on the June Commission meeting, we'll always pass a continuation budget so that we can move on with the same budget we had last year as we start this year, and then we'll retroact anything that needs to be changed to move on that August 30th meeting. So we will pass a continuation budget tonight. Going back to the zoning issues that we have, the zoning committee has looked and asking the county commission to talk about raising the pad level for any house that's in a floodplain or flood zone, and there are different variations of that. But many times a house gets sold to the second and third owner without knowledge that it may be in the floodway or flood zone. You would think you would know that, but sometimes that does pass by. And so the county commission and the planning commission here are trying to make sure that the pad elevations are at a minimum height above that flood zone so that it ensures safety for our future homeowners buying that, and so they will address that tonight. There's also another issue coming to the Planning and Zoning Committee, or Commission tonight to the Planning and Zoning Committee, about the number of unserviced vehicles that can be in your yard or in your facility that you may own, and so they will address that tonight and kind of give restrictions and guidelines on that. Another zoning will be on our sign ordinance. This really came up through the process I talked to you earlier about us landing rooms to go out on 840, and talked about what signs could actually be there. And so we felt like that maybe we probably should adjust some of our ordinances as they maybe have not necessarily outdated, but things have changed and times have changed, and so they will be addressing that tonight as well. There are going to be some fee adjustments that the Planning and Zoning Committee said to us as well. One for the Board of Zoning Appeals for a fee schedule. They looked at the counties around us and trying to get us in line with those. Some may be increased, some may be decreased, as well as the fee accessory permits for the fee schedules as far as if you're putting an accessory on your property. And so they have also compared those with the surrounding counties, trying to get those in line. We will have a budget amendment through the property assessor. We'll take some money out of his audit services that he didn't use and apply that to buy a motor vehicle for his men that are out traveling the county daily looking at assessments. Also, the WEMA will have several line item transfers. They'll take some out of miscellaneous refunds here, money they got back from TennCare, and put that in the appropriate line item. Every time we receive money from a donor or from a different organization, it has to be placed in the right line item. So it always has to come through our budget committee on to the county commission for proper approval. WEMA will also move some money, the request to put in the correct line items to pay principals and interest on some new fire trucks that were purchased recently. That is just a budget movement. The trucks have been purchased several months ago now. The WEMA will also have a reserve fund moving out of a contribution that came last month, as I talked to you about, from Enbridge or Spectra Energy, if I can say it. A donation to WEMA that will go for buying some AED training pads, also some pads for the EMS ambulances, and also rescue rope and accessories for our fire trucks. Thanks to Enbridge for being a part of making WEMA better and doing that private donation. WEMA will also move some money out of diesel fuel line that's not going to be used to provide Class A uniforms for the admin and shift officers there and their honor guard as well. They'll move some money out of overtime, WEMA will, to temporary to cover the finish out the year with the proper line items there. In capital funds, projects, so we will move some money in the right line item for the Highland Heights Church that we purchased a few months ago. Again, this is just a line item transfer that has to get our books in order. And the last thing that we'll do would be to pass a road commission bond for Mr. Kenny Rich, which was reappointed as a road commissioner to the road commission. It seems like that might be a short meeting to you, but it may take a while as we talk about some of those zoning issues. I encourage you to come and be a part of government if you'd like to be. If not, please tune in to 198 and watch it live. We hope you have a great month, and we will see you next month, same time, same channel.